You know, the last time we was here, we had a fun conversation about family matters. I gotta ask you, did anything change?
Nope. I still think the show is mid. I don't think it aged well. And Jaleel White, I'm sorry, it's nostalgic, but it is what it is.
Still not your top 10?
No, absolutely. No, absolutely not.
Top 300?
I mean, in that case, no.
Wow.
I like a lot of shows, and Family Matters does not come into play.
You tell me there's 300 more shows you will watch.
Most likely, yes.
You probably will pick Empire.
Empire is so bad, dude. Oh my God. That's another video.
Yeah, because
you have to take away like the hypeness of the moment and then just look at the show within itself. Is that a show that you're about to binge watch right now? Some people will say yes. For me, it's no.
Damn. No, because you got a point, and I'm thinking like there's certain things that just belongs in certain eras.
Yeah.
That era
Absolutely.
of 2014, 2015, Empire, Wednesday nights, nothing else on television.
And let's be real. I think Twitter made some shows more exciting than they really were. It was one of those like appointment tweeting opportunities, not like it's more I need to watch it so that I can talk shit online, not like, oh my God, I need to watch it because it might be like a really, really good show.
Scandal was good though.
Scandal was great.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I'll say, like when I think back of shows that appointment tweeting, right? It was one thing to like, you know, watch it, but Thursday nights, 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, depending what season, you had to be there. Same with, and you know, at 10 o'clock as well. And same with a show that I really want you to watch. We're going to watch together. How to Get Away with Murder.
I still have not watched that. I'm excited for that.
It's so funny because you didn't want to write How to Get Away with Murder because you didn't want like the algorithm doing something. So that HTGA WMM, whatever, y'all know it. That was a time in itself. But you know, one thing I will say, Jaleel White, one of the things we talked about in the last episode was that about Family Matters being a hood show and a hood classic, and it wasn't like the other hood shows. And he clarified it. Shout out to Van Lathan and Rachel Lindsay of Higher Learning. He went on there and he basically said he was doing, you know, a segment. He should know better. He's at Del State. I think it was one of the universities in Delaware. It was like a dress, and he said it, you know, didn't get the credit, and he said he didn't want to take away. Not saying that the other shows were quote unquote hood shows as far as their characters are hood, but just shows that people like kind of what we talked about. You know, we were smart enough to kind of understand what he was trying to say, even if he couldn't articulate it in the moment. But coming up, we gotta discuss Travis Hunter and his fiance, because I've been waiting to keep my takes because I wanted to talk about this with you. And you know, we also, I mean, you know, we'll talk Beyonce. I thought you had a Houston version, but I know that's been the rabbit hole we've been down. And then just also we'll be looking forward to a 2024 and maybe a little preview of what people can expect coming up 2024 and more. 6HM Productions.
2024.
Wow.
2025.
Just roll the credits. Just roll the credits. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Brian H. Waters here with my better half, the one and only, the most beautiful woman in the world, Miss Queen P.R.
Thank you.
So how you feeling?
I feel good. Ending this wild ass year.
Yeah.
Very, very strange year in almost every facet of the world and like politics, entertainment, crime, scandals, pop culture, sports.
You brought up
It's
crime.
been a wild ass year.
The last time we were together and we parted, it was literally on the heels of Luigi.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about the Mario character.
No.
I
think you're talking about the assassin.
Yeah, but the discourse around that has been different.
Very bizarre. Very bizarre.
Yeah, I'm saying, you know, free my man Luigi and all this. And I don't want to get into that, but just to go to show you how wild
the times are also.
Yeah.
Because I think I've heard more about his looks than like his actual crime or evidence and why he did it and all this stuff. So yeah, it's a wild time.
About 15, 20 minutes from his school.
Really?
I can take you
in Baltimore. He's from here.
He's from around here somewhere. He went to Gilman. Brother Hughes, one of Brother Hughes' rival schools. Your best friend.
Wow. Just when I thought Baltimore couldn't get any worse.
I mean,
I'm just kidding. I love Baltimore.
Where was he at now?
Philly. When he got caught.
But where?
Oh, you trying to? I mean, the deed was done in New York, but that's because everything revolves around New York. So we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. But let's talk Travis Hunter and his lovely fiance. Travis Hunter just won the Heisman Trophy, as he should have. We kind of predicted that. And now
it's been poor girl. Even I feel bad for him as well.
Okay, talk about it.
Because we're in that age where a 10-second clip can get taken out of context. The right tweet, the right TikToker can create this narrative around a short clip, and then all of a sudden this girl is being villainized all over social media, where he had to talk about how she's, unstable emotionally because of all the backlash, where she felt she had to get on social media and defend herself from, what she says are misunderstandings. But I mean, a lot has come out about her, a lot from her own mouth, unfortunately. So it's hard to tell, who she really is and what's the nature of their relationship. But I think the discourse around it has been so crazy.
It truly has. Now, I'm glad I'm sitting here with you. We talked about this obviously off camera, but one of the things that I wanted to bring to the forefront, right? What I have an issue with is former athletes, or dare say bro Twitter, coming at him, telling him what to do with his life. Now, here's the thing about Travis Hunter. He is being mentored by one of the greatest athletes of all time, but also by one of the greatest fathers of all time, that being Deion Sanders. Now, Deion was very open, and people feel he's in for himself, whatever. I mean, Deion Sanders was, one of the greatest football players, just like Travis Hunter, played offense and defense. But you can see they have that father figure. And, we watched the Vince McMahon documentary, and people say a lot of people looked up Vince as a father, but there's a couple pieces. I think it was even, what was that? The Self-Destruction of the Warrior, where Vince was I only got one son. He made it clear, y'all, I employ y'all, but there was a line, Shane is my only son. Deion Sanders not like that with Travis Hunter. So when I see all of this, and I'm like, y'all don't think Deion's having these conversations with you? Y'all don't think they're having dialogue? Not so much dictatorship. So I have a problem with people like Des Bryant, you ever see somebody who disappoints you? I was the biggest Des Bryant fan. I used to play wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. This is my Cowboy fandom. And last year, maybe even in 2024, he went on record and said, no, I don't talk football with women. And yeah. And one of my closest friends, shout out to Ashley Baker, she say some crazy stuff like Lamar Jackson hit a ceiling, which clearly she was proved to be wrong. But when it comes to that football talk, her and Renee Washington, I put them against anybody. You know how I feel about my sisters. And so when Des says something like that, then he gets upset. I tried to stay out of Travis' business, but after seeing this video that people said was fake, the one where that she was in the music video, people said,
oh, that was not her in that music video.
And he quote tweeted that and said, Travis, run, leave her alone.
Wow.
And then there's also people sharing other videos, her with somebody else. Now, here's the thing. They probably not each other's first whatever. Maybe she might be his, he was dedicated to ball his life was for Travis. She said that. But why I feel like it's very clownish behavior for people to constantly come out with videos of her and people to try to bring her down, to tear her down.
It's almost like no matter what, they were going to bring her down. And when I say they, I mean haters on social media. Yeah. And a lot of the people that are complaining about her, aside from other athletes, but the trolls that are harassing them, are not even anywhere close to like being on their level. Like that's the sad part, where this girl felt like she needed to post a video explaining herself. Now, maybe her behavior, supposedly, like she wasn't happy for him or happy enough for him during his trophy ceremony. Supposedly, she sat down and she was the last one to stand up, the first one to sit down. And when he was taking pictures with fans, there's a video of her like kind of like, when are we leaving kind of vibe, or like, do I gotta stay here all day kind of vibe. And we all know, we all can recognize that situation. We've all been in those situations or witnessed it. But it's unfortunate.
Sometimes when you taking pictures with your fans.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Okay, Hollywood. Okay, Hollywood. So it's just unfortunate because we're seeing these little clips and everybody's shaping that narrative. Now, whatever the case happens, I do feel like she should not respond to the trolls. If there's any piece of advice I would give this young couple, because we got to think they're a young couple. We all care about his success, so we care about who he's connected to. So that's why people are like, run away, you could do better, she should be supporting you, blah, 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 blah. Is don't respond to the trolls. Look at LeBron James and his wife. I saw a tweet where somebody was like, we didn't even know what her Savannah's voice sounded like until he won his third ring. I don't know if that's true or not, but
it feels accurate.
Right. But she stayed out of the spotlight. Was there narratives around her? Of course, there's haters all around. She's the greatest basketball player's wife at the time. Like, of course, there's going to be people saying things about her, but they never addressed the trolls. She never felt the need to address the trolls. And I wish that they felt the same way. And I think once Travis Hunter, put something out like, I love my fiance, she loves me, that should have been the end of it, honestly. Exactly. And then her going and talking about, how they got together and really just giving the public way too much information. Like, no matter how you got with, because I think also people forget, like, people are human. No one is fucking perfect. Yep. So the way you got with your man or the way you and your girlfriend got together, I'm sure that shit ain't picture perfect either. Like, the circumstances around it aren't perfect. They're still getting used to this dynamic of him becoming a star and her having to figure out where she fits, because clearly, she wants more out of life as well. So it's like, give this young couple some space. And if she's bad for him, it'll all come to light. It'll all reveal itself in the long run, hopefully sooner rather than later, if she's not good for him. But shut the fuck up, trolls. And also this couple, like, live y'all lives. Focus on y'all. Focus on your relationship. Who gives a fuck what these people think? Because at the end of the day, everyone's going to have something to say. You're going to be filmed. Someone's going to take a 10-second shot of it and have their judgments. Just move on.
Moving on. I can't say nothing no better. That's why I'm glad that I was able to come to this great platform, speak it over with my favorite person, because, you just hit it on the head. You talk about women. We got to talk about this, right? One of your favorite places, Boardroom.
Oh, I love that.
The most powerful women in entertainment.
Ooh.
Now, I want to make sure I get these names right, so y'all bear with me and look at it on your screen. Number 5, Sarah Aubrey, head of original content for HBO. Wow. And she's tied with other people from HBO, that being Amy Gravite, the executive VP and head of comedy, and the executive VP and head of drama, Francesca Orisi, and Nina Rosenstein, the executive VP of programming. Then Echo producer, one of my favorites, Jennifer Aniston.
Nice, I love her.
Then the writers and producer of Hacks, Lucia.
Oh, that's a goodie.
Oh yeah, Lucia Aniello and Jen Statsky. Mm-hmm. And then shout out to Black Girl Magic, Lauren Anderson, the head of brand and content innovation at Amazon MGM Studios. And then the number 1, the co-chair and CEO of Warner Brothers, Pamela Abity.
I love it.
So
round of applause to those amazing women.
Yeah, I love seeing that. Just most powerful women in entertainment. And I think we was talking about this. Like, the world is catching up. We was watching New York Undercover, and there were some, like, just got I guess she's not the detective. She's
a lieutenant.
Lieutenant, thank you. See, about them law shows. I'm getting back into it. But you see her, and it's always seemed like it's just like one person in leadership. And we looked at it, thinking about the 90s, right? And it's like, how much more could the world have been further along if people would have understood the power of women, especially Black women. Like, we talked about this. You come from a strong line of Black women. I come from a strong line of Black women. So I know Black women know how to run a tight ship. I wouldn't be who I was if it wasn't for my mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, but then also cousins, and, more of the cousins that's like aunt cousins, you know what I mean? My mother didn't have any like natural sisters when I was younger, but it was my cousins, you know what I mean? So to see this, but then we got to talk about one of the most powerful Black women, one of the greatest entertainers to ever grace forth this planet, Beyonce.
Yay! That's why I showed up, so we could talk about Beyonce.
So you don't watch this halftime show. You don't watch this halftime show for like maybe 10 million times already.
At least.
What are your thoughts? I want the raw, unfiltered Queen P.R. Beyonce number one fan. What are your thoughts?
First off, I always have this theory that Beyonce always comes right on time. Like whether it's an album, a song, a performance like this, it always comes right on time. I needed to feel some of that magic of Beyonce performances. And then especially because Cowboy Carter was such a unique Beyonce album. It was country. There was a lot of talk around it because, she definitely stepped into this genre that was, for white people, and the country music wasn't necessarily welcoming to her. So it was so amazing to see that she came out with this beautiful country album, very cohesive. And the creative direction and the story behind the album was just so well executed. And then to see it played out visually in this performance during that halftime show on Christmas just was like the icing on the cake. The white was so beautiful. There was so much like symbolism within her performance that I'm still learning. Like 2 days later, I'm still like, oh, that's what that meant. That's what that meant.
You're still learning.
I'm always learning. And that's what I love so much about Beyonce, because she's very intentional. She's very like strategic with everything that she does. Everything is very intentional. And as an artist and as a creator and a producer, it's so inspiring to see it. And let alone just her being so talented, full of love, her giving those other artists a platform. When she kind of sets off and let Shabuzi, do his thing.
Yeah, I never heard of Shabuzi.
Yeah, he made waves this year in country music. His song Tipsy was like broke records using a sample from Jaquan's Tipsy, that song. Yeah, everybody in the club getting tipsy. Yes. So he country fried it.
Wow.
And
no, I like that better, country fried.
Yes, he did. And it was so good. And he broke so many records. And this is a Black man in country music. So Beyonce, even putting him on the album, letting him perform with her, her singing Blackbird with 4 other beautiful Black women who are also country singers. Just her providing that stage to these young artists and featuring like Black rodeo champions and like being a real, it was just such a beautiful performance. I've watched it so many times already. Blue being up there with her, all of it. It was just so good. And it just reminded you of like why Beyonce is Beyonce. And it brought up the conversation again. Is she the next MJ? Like, she is the next greatest performer, pop star, icon, everything, all of the above. Beyonce is it. And she made a statement with that performance.
Yeah, it's amazing. I don't really like to compare.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to enjoy both, and mainly because like Michael Jackson didn't do it in the social media era. We don't know how Michael Jackson would have been. We may think we do, but when Michael Jackson died, unfortunately, we found out through Facebook. We saw Facebook posts, but Facebook was a different beast. Twitter was out. But again, all this stuff was different than what it is now. So we don't know if Michael Jackson would have been active on Instagram. We don't know if Michael Jackson would have been following people. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't like to compare. And I just want to appreciate Beyonce's greatness, because one of the things too, like the reason why celebrities felt like celebrities back then, because there was no social media. So you only saw them when you saw them. So that's the reason why, like, when people say, oh, but back in the day, Mike had people passing out. Well, yeah, because you only saw him on your television. Mm-hmm. You didn't know what Michael Jackson was doing.
And he still had that aura about him. So when you did finally see him in person, you might just fucking pass out.
And it's a difference.
Like, I can go online and look at pictures of Beyonce, watch videos of her, put on Netflix and watch his performance. It wasn't that easy back then. So
exactly,
it's just different. And I think also just the longevity. Like, we went through a rabbit hole, so we watched her Super Bowl performance from 2013 and 2016, and just the evolution. Like, she's still doing it to the best of the best of the best with her like daughter this time around too. So that was just so beautiful. And it was also something so powerful about her performing her country album during a NFL football game on Christmas in Houston, Texas. Like, yeah.
Shout out to Beyonce.
I love you, Beyonce.
Like I said, I'm happy Lamar Jackson got the win. Of course, I'm going to have to put my man Lamar over, breaking Michael Vick's record in front of Beyonce, because it was all to talk about whether or not he was going to be at halftime. This was his first chance to see Beyonce in person. Said, sorry, coach. I said, well, be up 30-0. Unfortunately, wasn't up 30-0, but they had a good lead, 17-2. And I don't know. I can't wait to find out if he watched Beyonce or not. But nonetheless, they got it done. Before we get out of here, I wanted to talk about, give a little preview. We went down a rabbit hole. Greenleaf.
I love that show.
I put you onto some of the best shows. I'm batting like 1,000 right now. Right. What's the dud I had?
You try to make me watch Tubi original movies. What? So there it is right there.
Look, they got some good, hard working actresses and actors on Tubi.
I'm glad. Get that check. I'm not watching it, but get that check.
Get the check. But before we go, because we'll do a deep dive on Greenleaf, but I just want you to tell the people what your thoughts was and what did you think about it, and whether or not you would recommend it.
I highly recommend Greenleaf. It is so good. It's on Netflix. It is such an easy watch. No commercials if you got the right plan. The episodes just roll right into each other. The acting is 10 out of 10. I love family dynamics. I love shows about family dynamics, and it takes place in the world of the mega church in the South and Tennessee, and it's a world that I was not very familiar with. But you put it in that as the backdrop, and you add some scandals and some family secrets and some mystery and really good writing and acting and character development. Woo! So fucking good. Like, I highly recommend it. Oprah, you did that.
Yeah, she definitely did. I can't wait to do our deep dive on it, because we got to talk about Lady Mae. We got to talk about Grace. We got to talk about Jacob. We got to talk about the one and only
the Bishop
Greenleaf.
That voice. I love Keith David. His Instagram is Silver Tongue. Right? Is that? And I'm like, wow. Silver Throat. Yeah. And all I can say is wow.
Yeah, when you think about like his greatness, it's like, wow, and I remember not liking this guy all in Barbershop, but just, you can always appreciate blackness, great blackness. But as we get ready to get out of here, let the people know where they can find you, what they should be looking forward to, because we cranking it up 2025, baby.
Yes, 2025. There are so many things coming. Just stay tuned. Follow me, Queen 3_PR on Instagram, Twitter, Threads, TikTok, all of that. And make sure you follow my women's wrestling podcast, Those Wrestling Girls. A new era is loading. And make sure you subscribe to System Production on YouTube, and subscribe and hit that bell and all that good stuff.
All the good stuff. Y'all know me at Brian H. Waters on Twitter, or should we say X? I guess we're going to say X all of 2025. What else is there? Blue Sky. Blue Sky's I've been trying to skeet a little bit. That's what they call it.
I know, name. It's crazy.
I've been posting on a little thread. So I'm there, Instagram, everywhere, Brian H. Waters. Make sure you follow me. Keep track with everything that I'm doing. Till the next time, any final thoughts? Any final words?
Cheers to 2025.
Here we go.